hope that congratulations is in order, where you have Cisco Packet Tracer all installed on your computer and you're ready to go. What I suggest is that you watch this video first all the way through from beginning to end, and then you watch it the second time, and on the second time around you watch what I do and then pause it and try to do what I did. I always suggest you watch the video from the beginning to the end first and then try to do it on the second time around. Now this is the canvas area of Cisco Packet Tracer. At the bottom here we have all of the devices. This very first box here, which is already selected, see, if I select it, I get all the routers appear in this area. We have the 4331 being the first router, and I go right across by moving this slide right across, and here I got this 2811 router at the end. So these are all of the routers. Now if I click this next box, I have the PCs and all of the different equipment, printers, IP phone, and we just go right across, phones, TVs, tablets, etc. We have a lot of equipment here. So if I click on the next box, we have more equipment here as well. And here we have the different cables. Now the very first cable, this one is not a cable. This is how you automatically assign these cables, but we'll talk about that later. But in the beginning, we're just going to manually assign them so that you get familiar with the cables and what they do. But this very first cable is a console cable. This one here is a straight through Ethernet cable, crossover Ethernet cable, fiber cable, phone cable, coaxial cable, and a serial DCE cable. And then we have the serial DTE cable, and this is an octal, and the last one is a USB cable. On the top here we have this one. If you want to select a new screen, you'll select this one. You just hit new and a new screen would come up. Okay, if you want to open an existing file, you just click on this one and you could select the file on your computer where the current packet tracer file is stored. This button here is to save, like if you want to save your project. I'll go through all of these and you'll get familiar with them as I get into doing the lab. And that's probably the best way for you to learn what these buttons are for. Okay, now the first thing I want to do is to click on this area here, which are the routers. Okay, and then I'm not going to pick a router because I'm not going to be using routers within the first project. I'm going to pick a switch. The switches are right here, so I'm going to click on this box here, and then I could see all of the switches. I'm going to pick the very first switch, which is the 2960 switch. Okay, it doesn't matter which one I pick, I'm just going to pick the first one, and I'm going to place it there. Now I'm going to pick some computers. Now I'm going to go to this second box here and click on it. I'm left clicking, left click, and then go over here on the PC here. I'll left click on the PC again. Okay, and then if I left click here, I'll place it there. Okay, and left click on it again, left click on the screen, you place it there, left click on that again, left click on the screen, place it there. By the way, I did the same thing for the switch as well. I didn't show you that, but if I click on this switch, click on that switch, left click, that's all. Okay, and place it there. Now I don't want this switch there, so I'm going to remove it. What I will do here is to go up here and click on this X. When I click on that X, see I have an X on my cursor now. I just click on the switch, left click, and then this box comes up. Do you want to delete switch 2? This is switch 2. That one was switch 1, so I know I have this one selected. So I just click delete and it's gone. Now I can't do anything with this because I want to continue working, so I have to go back up here and go to this box here with the arrow, click in that box once. I'm going to left click again. Okay, and when I come back here, you see that cross is gone, so I'm not going to be deleting anything anymore. But now I want to move everything and put them in the right position, so I'm going to just left click left click on the switch, and once I hold it, I can move it to anywhere on the screen. So I just want to move it here just a bit up to give it a bit more room. I'm going to left click on the PC, move it over here a bit, left click on this PC, move it over there a bit, and left click on this, hold it down, right? And you move it to wherever you want it. When you release is when it stops, okay? Now, I have my switch on my 3 PCs. Now, I want to connect them together. You'll click on this lightning bolt sign here, and then you'll have all of your cables. Now, this very first one, this lightning bolt, if I select that again, it's going to select the right cable for me. Let's say, for instance, I go like this, okay? And then go here. It's going to connect it for me. And then click there, and it's going to connect it. But what are you connecting to? It is making your decisions for you, and I don't want to do that. I want to teach you how this is done. So I'm going to go back up here and click on this X again, okay, and then come down, click on this because I want to delete it, right? I don't want to do that. I'll go back here to get my cursor back, and now I got my cursor back. So what I want to do is to select the cable that is right. Now this cable here is a straight through Ethernet cable. This is a crossover. You see it says straight through right under the bottom here, straight through cable. It says copper straight through. This is a straight through Ethernet cable. If I select this one's a crossover. If I'm going to connect like devices, that's what you would do. You'll use a crossover cable to connect like devices. Like if I'm going to connect 2 computers, I click on this box here, I left click, I click on this PC, I'll select fast Ethernet 0. That's the port you would use. So that's where this cable will be connected, right on the network card of this computer, which is fast Ethernet 0. If I want to connect it to another PC, I would just click on that, connect it to fast Ethernet 0 over here again. Now that's what you do to connect like devices. 2 computers are like devices. 2 switches will be like devices. 2 routers will be like devices, okay? So that's what you do to connect 2 like devices. However, this is what you had to do in the early years of networking. Now today, the new network cards that computers and switches and routers have in there are able to sense if you connect the wrong cable, and they're able to switch that signal within the card onto the right side. It doesn't really matter if it is a straight through or crossover. We still use straight through and crossover cables, and in some instances you may have a rare application that may require it, but normally it doesn't really matter which one you connect, but we all still try to connect the right cable. However, today, you'll see more straight through cables out there than crossovers. I'll say that maybe 90-95%, if not more, of the cables out there are straight through cables and not crossover cables. So what I'll do is I'll delete this because I don't want to connect 2 computers together. So I'll go back up here and click on that X. Come down here and click on that again. Go back up here and click on this box to get my cursor back. And I got it back now. So now I'm going to connect my cables manually myself. I'm going to click on this very first one, which is a straight through cable. As I said, it doesn't matter, but we still try to pick the right cable. Now I'm going to connect this Ethernet straight through cable from this computer, fast Ethernet 0, right up to the switch. I can select any of these, okay, any of them, but I'm going to select the fast Ethernet 0/1. Now all I do is a left click on it, on this area. If I want any of these, I'll just left click on it, but I'll pick the very first one, which is the fast Ethernet 0/1. When I left click on it, it selects it right there for me. You'll notice that I have a green flag down here and I have an orange little circle here. What will happen eventually is that these 2 devices are syncing up right now, and it takes a few seconds, maybe about 30 seconds or so, and this would turn green as well. It tells you that these two devices are communicating. Okay, now while they're doing that, I will continue and I will go to the next computer. See, it just sunk up. You have 2 green flags now. I'll just left click on this computer. I get the menu here, and I will select Fast Ethernet 0. Left click again, and I have my cable, which I will connect to the switch. So anywhere on the switch, once you place the cursor over, you would get this. So you just left click right there, and you will get this menu here comes up. Okay, so I would pick Fast Ethernet 0/2 since I picked 0/1 for the other side. I could actually pick any of these, it doesn't really matter, but I'll just go in order and pick Fast Ethernet 0/2. Okay, so that's done. Okay, now I'll pick another straight through cable here, and this time I'll connect from the switch. Now it doesn't matter which side I connect from, they both work the same, so I'll show you that. I'll click first on the switch, left click. I get my menu here where I will pick Fast Ethernet 0/3 since I picked 0/1 and 0/2 for the other 2 computers. So here's 0/3, and I will connect that here. So I'll connect to this side, and I will connect that to Fast Ethernet 0. Okay, so now everything is connected. This would change in a moment. It only takes maybe about 30 seconds, as I said earlier. So now I have 3 computers connected to a switch. So I have a local area network. Now, the next thing I have to do with this local area network to get it working is to decide what IP addresses I'm going to give to each one of these computers. Now, we use private IP addresses for local area networks. Like back in the very early stages of the internet, we didn't have private IP addresses, and we were actually running out of IP addresses. So instead of assigning public IP addresses to a local area network, which would deplete the number of public IP addresses that we have in the world very quickly, we decided to use private IP addresses. A private IP address is an IP address like 192.168 or .0 or .2, anything with 192.168. That's the private IP addresses. And also IP addresses that start with 10. Those are also private IP addresses. Okay, so that's just to give you an idea of what a private IP address is. But just bear in mind right now that private IP addresses are used on local area networks, and public IP addresses are used on the rest of the network. Okay, so I'm going to click on this box here. Okay, and this, by clicking on that, it will give me this box where I can type 192.168.2.3. Let's say, for instance, oops, I put commas instead. So I'll change that, dot, not a comma, but a dot, 168.2.4. Okay, now over here, I'm going to do this, click on here again and go 192.168.2.5 and click here again, 192.168.2.6. I'm also going to give the switch an IP. The ports on the switch do not have an IP. In order to telnet to a switch, we need to give that switch an IP, and it's called a VLAN, and I'm going to explain that to you as well, so you don't have to worry about that. But I'm going to just place this IP address there right now, 192.168.2.2. okay, I got 2.2, 2.4, 2.5, 2.6. okay, I can't move any of these boxes into position until I go back here and click on this box here to get my cursor back. Once I click on that box, when I click, I'm not putting these boxes all over. Like if I click here again, click, see, I'm putting those boxes all over the screen. But when I click there, I get rid of that. So now I can go here, left click, and I can move my IP address anywhere. So I'll just place it a little bit closer. I'll go down here, place these a bit closer. place these a bit closer and place this one a bit closer. So now we have a local area network with 3 computers on the switch, and we give all of the computers and the switch an IP address. Now, this is not programming the software putting it there. This is just a label, and so that I know what IP address is supposed to be programmed into the computer and the switch. So that would be the next thing we're going to do, and we're going to pick that up in the next video. The first video was how to download. This is the second video in the series, and in this video I'm just showing you how to build a topology. In the next video I'll be showing you how to configure all of the devices within this topology. Now I want to save my project here. So because if I close this screen, if I hit this X here right now, I would lose all of this information. So if you want to work on this now and later on you want to continue, you want to save this so that you can come back later and pick up where you left off. So I will go up here and click on this save button right here. When I click on that, I will get a choice of where you want to save it on your computer, right? I would put it right here, click on this folder, and I'm going to name that file. I'm going to name it Cisco, C-I-S-C-O, LAN, T-O-P-O-L-O-G-Y 2, since I have another file written as 1. So I'll just change that, save that right now. Okay, so that is saved. So next time I want to come back, I just click on that file and this screen would reopen and I can continue where I left off. In the next video, I'll be showing you how to set up all of the computers with an IP address, and also I'll be configuring the switch with a VLAN, and I'll be able to ping from one computer to another, and we'll also be able to telnet from any one of these computers to the switch.